नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधरा श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Hare Krishna. So we are reading from Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 2, text 52. Yada te moh kalilam buddhir vyatidarishyati tada gandhase nirvedam srotavyasya srotasya cha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. When your intelligence is passed out of the dense forest of delusion, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. So, on this verse, we are reading from second chapter. This is a particular section where Krishna is talking about the Buddhi Yoga, which he introduced in the earlier verse, 2.39, Buddhi Yogam tu imam shrunu. And then Krishna has been explaining after that the benefits of Buddhi Yoga. Also, Krishna explained how to practice Buddhi Yoga, which he introduced. So he explained that karmanyavadika raste ma phaleshu kadachana. So that is how one should practice this Buddhi Yoga. And then now Krishna is explaining the benefits even practice. What are the advantages of practicing this Buddhi Yoga? So in that series, this is the verse where Krishna is explaining Yada te moho kalilam uddhir tarishaji. So when we reach that state of practicing Buddhi Yoga, then what happens? It says Yadate mohokalilam buddhir vyaditarishyasi. When your buddhi, when your intelligence, vyaditarishyasi, when it is already passed out, tarishyasi, from mohokalilam. Mohokalilam means the dense forest of delusion. Yada means when. When te buddhi, your buddhi, vyaditarishyasi, passed out from the mohokalilam, from the dense forest of delusion. Tada, then what happens? Gandhasi nirvedam. Gandhasi means that you shall go nirvedam. You become indifferent. You shall become indifferent to srotavyasya srutasya cha, to all that has been heard and all that has to be heard. So basically, what Krishna is explaining, that when we are situated in that Buddhi Yoga, properly we are executing Buddhi Yoga, or in other words, when we are rightly situated in Krishna consciousness, then we cross over, we pass out the dense forest of delusion, Moha Galilam. When we reach that state, then that time we not to worry about whatever been said in the scriptures. Now, it might sound very contradictory that, oh, what is the recommendation here? That we should not care about what is written in the scriptures. Srotavyasya srutasya cha. All that has been heard and all that is to be heard. So we should not care about that. You become indifferent to whatever is said in the scriptures. When? When buddhi tarishasi, when we are beyond this mohokalilam, dense forest of delusion. So let us understand that. What is this dense forest of illusion? So different types of these illusions are there. So one category of that is that illusion, dense forest of illusion is the people are in the concept that what people have the opinion about us, and people are so much absorbed in leading their life about how people think about me, what they think about me, what is their opinion about me. So people doesn't care about that what is the the real goal of my life. They don't understand. Their only goal is that people should think great about me, and they work hard. They try to, you know, develop some reputation for the sake of people. And of course, there's nothing wrong to have the good. Sorry, yeah, there's nothing wrong to have good reputation, but it should not come at the cost of missing out the real goal of life. So this is considered as the dense forest of illusion. So much you are absorbed in, considering that what people think about me, what is my social status. In fact, sometimes if we are not careful, and devotee take up the spiritual life, and they can still be in the same trap. And what people think about me when we come to the temple, when we are chanting and we are doing something. So what the other devotees think about me? They should think that, oh, I'm such a great devotee, such a humble devotee, I'm such a gentle devotee, such a nice devotee, and then that becomes the driving force. I am such an important devotee here in the community. I'm doing a lot of service, a lot of important services. So what people think about me? So I had to work hard. So sometimes what happens if we are not careful, very subtly those things become the driving force, and we miss out the real goal. Why I'm here in the temple, why I'm here in Krishna consciousness. My goal of being into Krishna consciousness, practicing these principles is to somehow purify myself, become free from all kinds of sarvopadi vinirmuktam, tat paratvena nirmalam, all kinds of upadhis and ideas. I have to become free from all of that, all these baggages that I have been carrying. So let me just sincerely work hard, sincerely pray to the Lord, to Guru and Krishna, that I can become free from all those, identities, all those conceptions, and become more and more closer to Krishna. How can I please Krishna and Prabhupada? So that is the goal. But if we are not careful sometime, then our driving force becomes something else. That people should recognize me as an important devotee. I'm preaching, I'm singing, I'm a great singer, I'm a great collector, I'm a great preacher, I'm reaching out to all big, big people. Like that, many, many, things, many, many traps are there. It is not that easy. So this is Moha Kalilam, dense forest of illusion. So instead of satisfying our soul, we might get into a trap of satisfying our ego. So that is why one should be very, very careful that what is my driving force. I'm just working hard to satisfy my ego. Right. So many times, in fact, when sometimes devotees they fast on certain days, like some festivals or some Ekadashi or something like that. Some devotees they do some nirjala. So now very suddenly they start taking some pleasure in that, oh, I'm so special about that I'm doing nirjala. So they might be fasting from the food or from the water, but they might be feasting their ego by telling the people, oh yeah, I do Nirjala every Ekadashi. I do all the fastings Nirjala. So one should be very, very careful, because here what is happening is we're thinking what people will think about me if I say this. People think, oh, you are such a austere devotee. You are such a nice devotee. You are doing so much austerity. Oh, you are a great devotee. So this is considered as dense forest of illusion. So we should not go by public opinion, what people think about me. Rather, we should think what is really favorable for my spiritual life, for satisfying my soul, for purifying my consciousness. That is very important, because all those opinions, what people think, either in the outside world or in the devotee community, of course, uh, uh, we should not be like completely uh, reckless that I don't care what people think about me, but that should not become the driving force. That's the point here. Because ultimately, all those opinions, none of those opinions are gonna help us in any way. It can just, boost our ego. Nothing else we achieve by that. At the time of death, all those things will not help. What will help is how much our consciousness got purified, and to the degree we are purified, to that degree we'll be able to. The chances are more to remember Krishna, and think of Krishna at the time of death. That is a real goal. So our barometer of happiness should not be that what people think about me. I was talking to another devotee just 2 3 days back, and they were sharing that uh, that Prabhuji's the manager came to their house to meet, and then this person is a very intellectual person, and he a successful person. And then they were talking, and this person was saying that I want that my son should feel proud about me when he talks about me to anyone. That is the goal of my life. Then when my son talk about me to his friends or someone, then with great confidence and great pride he should talk about me. That is my goal. So see, the goal is he's very intelligent person, but is missing out the crux of life. His whole life is driven by that what people should think about me, how my son should feel about me, and when he talks to other people, what kind of feeling and then confidence he should talk about me. So that is the goal of life. But these things are all temporary. So one should be very, very careful that it doesn't matter that what people really have the opinion. So we should think about what my Guru and Krishna, what is their opinion about me. Now, what they will be pleased by my this kind of behavior, this kind of consciousness. If that is the criteria, then you don't care about uh, what is people opinion. If we, and that is the barometer, that is the criteria of our spiritual success. That what is my gurus and Krishna's opinion about me. So we should always think, if I'm behaving like that, if I'm talking like that, I'm thinking like that, would it please my guru and Krishna? If it pleases, then let me continue. And in that, if people may criticize me, that is okay. I really don't care about what people think about me if it pleases my Guru and Krishna and the Vaishnavas. So, like that. So, this is one kind of dense forest of delusion. So, one should be very, very careful. Right? Many, many things have been said. We have heard, from our parents, from our grandparents, from our, the community where we grew. So, many, many things have been said. But we should go by what Guru and Krishna, what is their opinion, what is their instruction. So I might have heard so many things. Oh, don't do this, don't, behave like this, don't wear clothes like that, don't dance like Chetan Mahaprabhu was criticized when Chetan Mahaprabhu was being a sannyasi. He was dancing and kirtan, doing the kirtan in the street, he was dancing. So now all these conventional sannyasis, their opinion was like, why he's dancing like a madman? So they are criticizing him. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the Supreme Lord, but he did not care about that because his criteria is that chanting the holy name and pleasing the Supreme Lord Krishna by chanting and dancing. That is the criteria. So in the course of doing that, there might be some criticism. The people may not have a great opinion about us by doing that. Sometimes, devotees come to the temple and their whole trajectory of life changes. And then many of our old friends and relatives and the family members, they start pointing out, they start criticizing, they start pointing out, saying that, oh, you're gone mad, you're gone crazy. What is this life that you don't go for movies, you don't go for, any outing like eating outside in the restaurants and all of that. Every Sunday you want to go to the temple. What is this? Once in a while it is okay, some festivals and all that. And then family members start criticizing, oh, you don't mingle with us, you don't talk all this, useless gossip, you don't participate in all of that, you're gone crazy. So people may not have the great opinion about us, but that is fine because we understand that what I'm doing is under the guidance of my Guru and Krishna, and that is more important. That is the goal of my life. So I don't care about what people. So this is what Yada te moho kalilam buddhir vyatitarishasi. When your buddhi, your intelligence is gone beyond all of those consideration, what people think about me, then tada gandhasi. Then you don't care. You become indifferent. So this is one kind of delusion. So one, famous philosopher, he says that I'm not who I think I am. I'm not who others think I am. I am who I think other thinks about me. So that is what is the driving force, that we always think that what people think about me, that is how I think about myself. So one should be very, very careful not to go by all those public opinions. Okay. And now second category of this dark and the dense forest of delusion is our scriptures. As we know that our scriptures, they're divided into various sections. So one of the section in the scriptures is the Karma Kanda section. Now Vedas, they talk about this Karma Kanda. This Karma Kanda section is considered as the dense forest of delusion, where all kinds of sense gratification is encouraged. There's various ideas given that how you can enhance, improve your sense gratification. If you do this, you will get this. You can enjoy in some heavenly pleasures like that. In fact, Krishna also, earlier brought that in the second chapter itself. He brought about that karma kind of section somewhere around like 2.33 and 34, where he was saying that Arjuna, if you fight, you'll go to heaven and you'll enjoy the heavenly pleasures. So this is the karma kanda section, But that is not the Krishna's teaching, but Krishna is basically, taking us through all that. It's a journey. So he is introducing that, oh, this is also an idea given in the scriptures. But that is not the conclusive teaching of Bhagavad Gita. So Krishna talk about that, but soon, after a few verses, Krishna in 2.45, he says that Nistra Gunya Bhavarjuna, that you should go beyond all this karma kanda, because it is a dense forest of illusion. If you get trapped into all this karma kanda, let me do this worship, let me worship this demigod, let me do this austerity, and then I'll get that, then I can enjoy all of that. So one should avoid this karma kanda. Then question can be raised here, then if Krishna doesn't want us to follow this karma kanda, then why all this karma kanda, all this kind of ideas are given in the scriptures in the first place? So we should understand that this karma kanda is basically recommended for the low class people, those who cannot understand, the higher principles of spiritual life. So just to encourage them, somehow they should fall within the boundary of the scriptures, instead of becoming completely atheistic and acting, in a way which violates and the laws and the Vedic injunctions. So the idea is how to bring them within the boundary of Vedic injunctions. Says, okay, what attracts people? The sense gratification attracts the people. Okay, so let them do the sense gratification, but in a more disciplined way. So scriptures will guide. Okay, you want to enjoy in this way, not enjoy like animalistic way of life. So that is how they come, and then gradually they'll progress. That is why this karma kanda is mentioned for the low class of people, but it is not recommended for the person who is buddhir vyatitarishasi, who has already passed out this dark and the dense forest of delusion. For those people, this karma kanda is not recommended. So, like many things we keep hearing, like traditionally we hear that don't cut your hair on certain days, and don't cut your nails, and do like this, do like that. But one who is really situated in Krishna consciousness, then he not to bother too much about all of those things, all this karma kanda kind of thing, right? So it is like Prabhupada gives one example. Karma kanda is important, but karma kanda, it's a gradual progression. It is important for the people, those who are not at the level of understanding the higher principles. So they have to go through all this. It is like you want to reach certain destination. Then there are two ways. One is like you go on bicycle, one you go with a high speed car. So bicycle means basically you have to pedal, work hard. So there's all karmkanda section, and all these different sections are like paddling, do this, and get this, and then do this, and then get this. Slowly you will reach the destination. One is the high speed car, and say the automated car in this modern age. So you know to pedal and do work hard and all of that. Directly just you go. Another example is given like you reach the top floor of the building. One is you take the staircase, and one you take the elevator. Press a button and directly go there. So like that. So this karma kanda is also, the dense forest of delusion. So one who is already beyond all of those things, then he not to worry about what is given in the scriptures. Meaning what is given in the scriptures, srotavyasya, srutasya means what is to be heard and what has been heard. Meaning all these karma kanda things. Not like that we completely reject the scriptures. No, that is not the idea. But we take the essence of the scriptures. Vedasya sarvar aham eva vedyo. So that is the essence of the scriptures. That why I'm reading the scriptures, what I'm following, the whatever is given in the scriptures is so that I can satisfy the Supreme Lord Krishna. That is the goal of following the scriptures, not sense gratification. So I don't care about the the section which talks about sense gratification, but I just remain strict to what satisfy the Supreme Lord, what pleases Krishna. That's the idea. And in this connection, Prabhupada quotes this example of a great devotee, Madhvendra Puri. And Madhvendra Puri's prayer is a beautiful prayer where he says, Sandhya Vandana Bhadramastu Bhavato Posnana Dobhyam Namo Bodeva Pitarascha Tarpanamidao Naham Chama Chamyadam Yatra Kwapi Nisadya Yadava Kulotmasya Akam Sadusha Smaram Magam Harami Dad Alam Manne Kim Manne Name. So this is Prabhupada quoted in the purport. You can read that. So he says, he's begging forgiveness, this Madhavendra Puri, saying, Sandhya Vandan Bhadramastu Bhavato. Say, oh, Sandhya Vandan, like a Brahmana has to do 3 times prayer in a day. Sandhya Vandan, this is called Sandhya Vandan. Oh, Sandhya Vandan, all glory to you. Sandhya Vandan Bhadramastu Bhavato. Vosnanam Tubhyam Namo. That a Brahmana should take 3 times bath. He should do 3 times Gayatri, the Sandhya Vandan. So he's with folded hands saying, I am offer my obeisances unto you. Bo deva pitarascha dharmana vidau. Oh, all the demigods, all the forefathers, please excuse me for my inability to offer you any respects. He's saying that I'll not be able to do his Sandhya Vandan, following this, and taking 3 times bath, and any worship to demigods and pitras and all of that. I beg forgiveness. I'll not be able to do. Why? Because whenever I sit, wherever I sit, I can remember the great descendant of the Yadu. Yatra Kwapi Nisadya Yadav Kulottamasya Kamsadusha. So I remember Yadav Kulottamasya, Krishna, and then Kamsadusha, one who is the enemy of Kamsa, that Krishna. Wherever I sit, I just remember him. Smaram Smaram Agam Harami. So he says, when I remember Krishna, I just think of him, chant his holy name, and by doing that, I can free myself from all sinful bondage. And I think this is sufficient for me. So it's a beautiful prayer offered by Madhavendra Puri, where he is teaching us with this example that this is the highest principle, where if somebody remembers Krishna, somebody chants Krishna's name, then is free from all this Srotabhasya Sutasya cha, that what other things are said in the scriptures, Sandhya, Vandan, do this, do that, these rituals, and all of those things. One not to worry about that. The criteria is satisfy Guru and Krishna. And then Prabhupada quotes, paraphrase this, actually, this quotation, Aradito Hari tapasata dakkim, Anaradito Hari tapasata dakkim. Means, if somebody is Aradito Hari, if somebody is worshipping Krishna, chanting Krishna's name, then tapasata dakkim. What is the use of doing other austerity and following the rules and regulation and rituals? You just chant Krishna's name and tapasata dakkim. There's no use of all this tapasya. Anaradito Hari tapasada takim. If somebody is engaged in doing so many, severe austerities, but anaradito Hari, but he is not worshipping Krishna, then what is the use of that tapasya? If you're worshipping Krishna, what is the use of that tapasya? If you're not worshipping the Krishna, then what is the use of tapasya? It will be like in the Bhagavatam quotes, Shram eva hi kevalam. If now utpadye the yadiratim, Shram eva hi kevalam. One is not able to develop the taste, rati, the interest, the ruchi in chanting and hearing about Krishna, then whatever all these rules, regulations, Vedic injunctions, it is of no use. On the contrary, if somebody is situated in Krishna consciousness rightly, then one need not to worry about all this, rules and regulations. And this is what Krishna is explaining here. That when we are situated in the Buddhi Yoga, in truly Krishna consciousness, then when your buddhi is Vyatitarishasi, you are already passed out all this moho kalilam, dense forest of delusion. Then you become indifferent. Gandhasi nirvedam srotabhyasya srutasya cha. You need not to worry about all of this, what have been heard and what has been to be heard, like that. So one should, and at the same time, one should be a little careful when we hear such instruction. We should not immaturely try to apply these kind of instructions. Again, it might be a very dangerous thing. So this kind of instruction should be implemented in the guidance of a bona fide spiritual master and the senior Vaishnavas. Otherwise, we might think, oh, now, I read these words, so I not to worry about all these rules and regulations. Krishna has quoted already these words in the Bhagavad Gita. So now I am Krishna conscious, so I not to worry about all those things. So we should understand we are all sadhakas. We are not really reached that state of consciousness which has been mentioned here as, moha kalilam buddhir vyatitarishaji. If we have truly reached that state where our buddhi tarishaji, we are free from all these things, then you don't have to worry about srotabhyasya srutasya. But prematurely, one should not try to, do all such things. So that is why we should be very carefully under the guidance of, the devotees, the Vaishnavas. One should apply this kind of instruction. If we are not on that level, then prematurely one should not try to do all that. Okay. So these are the few thoughts on this verse. Let me pause here and see if anybody has any quick question or any comment. If you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and ask your question. Okay, if there's no question, we'll stop here. Hare Krishna, Jai Shri Prabhupada, Bhagavad